Every like, every comment, and every subscriber gives me motivation daily to bring you guys the best MMA content on YouTube. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, you guys. It means a lot, really. Alright, so there's a bit of buzz around Colby Covington's name right now, and that's going to happen because he just beat one of the biggest stars in his entire division, but Colby talks a lot, man, and he talks a lot of nonsense. And I believe about 50% of what he says he actually believes, and the other 50% is just complete and utter nonsense, and he knows it. And whenever I say that, I mean by like all the talks that, oh, he beat Usman and all this type of stuff, and he should be in the pound for pound rankings and all this type of delusional talk. I believe that he actually believes that. But the other 50% with the whole, oh, Usman sucks and he'll go up there and he'll crush Stylebender, which is what we're about to talk about today, and all this type of stuff, I don't think that he actually believes it, and I actually don't think that he actually plans on acting upon all these empty threats that he says with guys like Dustin Poirier and all this type of stuff. I do think he plans on fighting Poirier. I don't think that he plans on moving to 185 and fighting those guys at 185 because, I mean, come on. I think even he knows the things that I'm about to express in this video. But we're going to go ahead and talk about it from the casual fans' point of view because they might actually not believe it. And, Colby basically has been saying that he's going to go up to 185 and conquer the division and beat Israel Adesanya and dominate him because, quote, Israel Adesanya has nothing for him. He's just a cardio kickboxer. And if you're Colby Covington and if you're his management and Colby is really serious about this, if I'm his management, I'm like, well, he doesn't have a manager. But, you know, if I'm in Colby's corner, I'm like, dude, the coaches or anybody like that, I'm like, Colby, okay, let's calm down a little bit. Sure, you just beat Jorge Masvidal, but come on, you're dealing with totally different beasts here at 185. These guys are much bigger than Colby, man. And whenever you look at the division and you look at Colby's style, dude, there's a ton of anti-grapplers in that like top 10, honestly. You look at guys like Marvin Vettori, Robert Whittaker, Israel Adesanya, the champion. Look at Derek Brunson. You look at guys like Kelvin Gastelum, Darren Till. All these guys are capable of stuffing the takedown and shutting out and possibly even knocking out Colby Covington on the feet. But let's really look at Colby Covington's skills and look at what he's got and look at the impact that he can possibly make at 185. Now, we know Colby's style. He has outstanding wrestling and an outstanding gas tank. Two of his best weapons. I really don't even need to state any other weapon that he utilizes because those two are his main ones. And why not? He's the best at that. Colby Covington has really improved with his boxing a little bit too. His striking has gotten better. But one thing that really impressed me in the Jorge Masvidal fight is his control, is his jiu-jitsu. The guy has made strides in his jiu-jitsu game in the way that he was able to control Jorge Masvidal on the mat in ways that Kamaru Usman couldn't. I mean, where Kamaru Usman was able to control Jorge Masvidal was in the clinch. Anytime Usman took Masvidal down, if he wasn't tired, he wasn't able to get or to keep Jorge Masvidal on the ground. You know what I mean? And it's like, that impressed me because Colby was able to control him from round 1 all the way to round 5. That's not easy to do, considering Jorge Masvidal was looked at one of the guys as one of the best anti-grapplers in the entire division. But let's be honest here, guys. So Colby Covington brings that to the table. He's not a power puncher. He's more so a volume guy. He's more so stay in your face and just continuously press you. And with these guys at 185, Colby Covington loses a lot of that size advantages that he has, and the wrestling becomes a little bit less, not a little bit, a lot less of a threat, considering these guys are not only bigger and stronger, just like Usman. Colby Covington struggled with guys who hold the power advantage and was strong enough to stop his wrestling. And you look at 185, these guys are bigger and stronger, and they're definitely capable of stuffing the takedown of Colby Covington. You look at guys like Jared Cannonier. I forgot about him. Derek Brunson. These power punchers, man, that really shown that they're used to stuffing guys at 185, much bigger men, and they're used to stuffing their takedowns. Colby holds no type of threat on the feet to these guys because, let's be honest, Colby couldn't punch through a wet paper bag, so he's not gonna knock out these guys with his power, you know what I mean? Marvin Vettori, all these guys that utilize their grappling, they know all the tricks that Colby is going to try to pick up on, you know what I mean? And one of the biggest kryptonites that I see with Colby Covington's style is if he can't take you down and you stuff all his takedowns and force him to get back to the center, you have basically stopped about 50% of his style. 50% of his style goes out of the window. And that 50% is a big factor in what makes him so successful. Meaning, if he can't wrestle you, he won't be able to wear you out in the same way, and he can only focus and only rely on his pressure cardio style of boxing. You know what I mean? And so that is going to be very ill-advised, especially with these guys at middleweight, which is his main kryptonite, is losing the power advantage, which is what he gives up to most of these guys here. And once you do that, if there is a dynamic where they can take your punches but you can't take theirs, you're going to lose every single time, especially if these guys are better at striking than you. And whenever you look at Usman is still very sloppy on the feet. He's not an elite striker, and he's not an elite boxer at all. These guys at 185, you look at guys like Jarrett Cannonier, Kelvin Gastelum, Paulo Costa, these guys, even Marvin Vettori, who doesn't hit very hard, may even be able to really strike a power difference with a guy like Colby Covington. And that is really where Colby is going to really struggle, because he can't engage and exchange in the same way that these guys can. And these guys have the boxing to touch Colby in ways that Kamaru Usman couldn't, because Kamaru Usman just isn't that level of striking. But I want to know what you guys think. This is just my quick thoughts on it. I know it's probably hoopla at the end of the day, but I want to know what you guys think. So leave me some comments down in the comment section below. Just don't be a dick about it. It's been your boy Trippy, and I'm out, man.